All right. Yo, what is up, YouTube? So I've already reached out to Vadi Vidya, really super chill guy, and he gave me his permission. If you want to watch the original video without my reaction or without me watching it as well, it's going to be the first link, the very first link in the description down below. Please go check that out. And yeah, if you want to catch me live, I'm always live every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday on the weekdays from 6:30 p.m. EST to 7:30 p.m. EST. Typically, it's always going to be an hour, maybe a little bit over or a little bit under. And then Saturdays are always the really long stream days, which if you haven't checked out the video that I actually uploaded from the stream, which we was debating Marvel versus Marvel versus DC comics and certain superheroes like Spider-Man versus Batman. You got Wolverine and Wonder Woman, just stuff like that. Thor and Shazam. You know, we just have fun over there on Saturdays. No real structure to it. Just kicking it and stuff. Me and my buddies and stuff like that. So we gonna get into this video right here, and that's it for real.
Of the newly created world.
Well, hold on.
On the first day of the newly created world, mankind were given souls. What is a soul? It's the power of clarity present in all living things.
1440, Jesus.
The soul is the means by which we can comprehend the world around us. It is the soul of the mind, key to life's ether. It's logic, which in demon souls mediates and binds together all of creation. Thus, with a soul, we can think, and through thought, we can influence the world around us. And when this soul power is redirected by the Maiden in Black, we are granted possibility, allowing us to better interfere with the laws of nature. Things like conjuring.
So I don't know if y'all caught that. I like how he puts in his sources right here at the bottom, like, hey, source Maiden in Black JP dialogue.
To better interfere with the laws of nature. Things like conjuring fire.
Because I was gonna deadass ask, like, how do you know all of the stuff that you know? And I've been watching him for years, which is exactly why I've reached out to him, because he's such a good person for explaining the Demon Souls, Dark Souls games, and just other games he's really passionate about. But it's typically like he does a lot of lore videos on Dark Souls. So if you want to watch Dark Souls, you want to watch Demon Souls and stuff like that, and you're like playing the game and you don't understand exactly what the story is, he does a good job of like letting you catch on to certain elements or thematic hints in the game, and he just draws it out, and then he uses other facts like item descriptions and lores that's inside of the wiki and the guides and all of these different books or comics of whatever video game, typically again Demon Souls and Dark Souls, and then he ends up making an entire video about it to make it make sense as to why you just went through the entire game and have no idea why you just went through that. So that's why I like listening to him, and that's why I'm watching the video for this.
Curing sickness. These spells become possible through intelligence, defined as our ability to comprehend
I'll link it in the iCard up top,
our conviction in their reality. These magics are formally known as the soul arts, and with them, man has the power to meddle with creation. However, consider the words of Uriah, the witch.
If there is a God, he gave us souls to do good, not to practice witchcraft.
So, to rectify this, on the second day, a soul-devouring demon was placed upon the earth. What is a demon? A demon is a beast with the ability to rob living things of their souls. A demon devours these souls and amasses them into a particularly large soul known as a demon soul. Naturally, these demon souls possess power that's incomparable to ordinary souls, and that power is further shaped by the body housing it. And despite demons being loosely defined at one point as beyond human, anything can become a demon. Even a human. Even you. Who is the Maiden in Black?
That makes
She's
sense.
the heroine of this story, who enables your level ups. Blinded with wax, this candle maiden performs her duties, going around and keeping the temple's lights on with her lamplit staff, which makes her, in many ways, the first firekeeper. So on that note, I'd like to
yeah, that's right, because Demon Souls is the first one inside of the entire what do you call? I mean, you have 3 as a trilogy. What do you call 4, right? But that entire series of games, because Demon Souls. Excuse me. I just finished telling stream, like, it's been a long day. Hopefully y'all doing okay and stuff. It's just been long. I'm tired. Just wanted to kick it on stream, relax, listen to this. Then we're gonna end up playing some Blood Hunt. Hopefully I get a video out for y'all at some point. But what he's explaining inside the game, I mean the video, is that Demon Souls partakes in the same universe as Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. And I'm not sure about Bloodborne. Bloodborne, I'm sure, is just its own universe. That's actually my favorite out of all of them. But Demon Souls definitely takes place, at least what I've learned playing the games over time, like it's the first one and then it sprinkles down into everything else.
Announced December's
I'm not
display.
sure how they're
This
all
is
connected since they're
Firekeeper
different
by Anato
names
Finstock.
and stuff
It's a take
inside of
on
all
that
the games.
blind composure
But
that
if you want to
Firekeepers
figure
have.
out, we
Click
can
the
watch
link in
it on
the
channel
description
too.
to support the channel.
I'll
Maybe
email him
consider
again.
getting this as a
Make sure
gift
that
for
it's
yourself or
okay for
someone
us to
else.
maybe find
Thank
out
you.
why it is, and
So
go support
despite
him.
her subdued
Those
manner,
joints look
the Maiden
crazy.
in Black was
Fire.
once one of the Old One's most dangerous demons. And while we don't know of her past deeds or misdeeds, she too is.
Yeah, in fact, she's real ominous with how she moves, and she has like a soft, somber voice to her all the time. It's real weird. It's always one of these Maiden in Blacks, always these Firekeepers in each game.
Bound to the Nexus, like the Monumentals, like us, and like the Old One. What is the Old One? It's the original demon that was placed upon the earth.
The Old One is the bottomless pit of nothingness, with an insatiable appetite for the souls collected by its faithful demons.
In order to end all life, this ancient beast curates demons to gather up all souls as it slowly spreads the deep fog across the world. What is the deep fog? It's a thick, colorless mist that started to spread upon the Old One's awakening. No one outside can see through the fog, and anyone who attempts...
I know he said the deep fog is a deep, colorless mist, but does mist ever truly have a color?
to enter it disappears, never to return. The one exception to this is the mighty warrior Valifax, who tore through the fog.
The main thing that I'm trying to figure out from this story, aside from it's going through item descriptions and stuff like that and threading together everything, is the ending of the game. But I do want to understand the entirety of Demon Souls now that I've officially beaten every single game except 2.
And told the world of
Dark Souls
Boletaria's plight. It is
Who do
through
you
this
say?
tore to return. The one exception to this is the mighty warrior Valifax, who tore through the fog and told the world of Boletaria's plight. It is through this fissure that you enter the fog in the introduction.
So that you may lull
Ah,
the Old One
okay.
back to slumber.
Inside, all of the engulfed lands look much the same as they did before.
Bro,
but
this
with
remake
misty
looks so
distortions
fucking
further
pretty.
diffusing each section of each
Blue
world.
Point, y'all did such a
But
good job.
because of
with
this
game.
diffusion of space, we can even visit other worlds in our diffused soul form. Furthermore, the demon vanguards near the edges of the fog are called diffused vanguards, and even the Old One at the root of it all
Sheesh,
is
that joint
called
look
the
crazy.
diffused one. So diffusion is mentioned a lot more in the Japanese text, and for good reason, because think about it. The soul is the logic of the world, and the soul grants humans clarity. Fog, by nature, obscures that clarity, and therefore, since clarity is so important to the logic of the world, the very fabric of reality has become tested.
Off my ass.
That is why
Ugh.
the world needs
That was a
monumentals.
clean parry.
We preserve the fabric of reality.
So, if life, especially within the deep fog, relies on perception to shape reality, what happens when there's nothing there to perceive it? Well, then nothing
Smooth
exists.
parries.
And a land barren of souls is absorbed by fog and banished to the infinite darkness.
One of the only things keeping the enveloped world bound to reality are the souls observing it. And so, the demons devour those souls. Everyone and everything must be soul-starved. What are the soul-starved? The soul-starved are living beings, but robbed of their souls. Life can exist without a soul, but at that point it's arguably not you that is alive. Souls permit living things agency and thus
So
a will
sorta
which
like a
cultivates
zombie.
consciousness and personality. So without a soul, one is simply an empty husk, acting solely on instinct, hungry for the soul that it now lacks. So it's no surprise that those within the deep fog trade in souls.
I wish to stay here, but I need souls to remain sane. As you know, of course.
Those who become starved are often enslaved by the demons to help gather more souls. For examples of this, look to the soul-starved depraved ones, the miners, the soldiers of Boletaria. They're all united against
Damn.
you because of your sanity, your souls.
So that's kind of crazy to think about, that the entire time that you're playing the game, they're actually just defending what little sanity they have, if they even have it, because he just said that when you don't have your soul, you're just acting on pure instinct. So it's not truly their fault why they're like attacking you the entire time, and you're forced to just slay them because they're in your way, and you're just trying to keep the Firelink shrine alive or get to the old one or do this thing. Like, you have your missions, you have your task, and it's not really their fault. Like, they just existed. Imagine you're just existing in normal life, right? And a zombie outbreak happens. Your best friend's a zombie now. It's not his fault that he's trying to come after and chew your face off, and you have to put him down. It's sort of the same similar instant. Is like it's really sad when you think about it. I couldn't
One
imagine.
soul-starved creates another, and then gathered souls make their way up the chain, collected by the archdemons in service to the Old One. What is an archdemon? They're a demon appointed by the Old One to lead other demons, benefiting from the souls that their underlings gather before
Hold on. Let me make sure I heard this right before I say
to
something.
the Old One. What is an archdemon? They're a demon appointed by the Old One to lead other demons, benefiting from the souls that their underlings gather before passing them along. Each demon chief commands the lesser demons in a particular area, typically their land of origin.
So I don't know if he's going to go into this, but I really want to know if he's going to go into why at the end of the game, this again, most of my questions pertain to the end of the game. Why at the end of the game, the Old One is like very nice to you and doesn't kill you? Why is it that you get through the game and you have two options? By the way, we're going to react to the other option because I've heard there's two options for the ending of the game. I've only seen my ending. Excuse me. Everybody told me that I got a good ending, so I want to see what the bad ending is and what that even means. And if he'll go into it, then we don't even got to look up a different video. But I'm curious as to why would the Old One put these archdemons here to like terrorize and gather souls and whatnot, if at the end of the game you're fighting all these different demons. Why don't you slay the archdemon? Why is it that you just let it be in peace? Why does your character just decide that? Why isn't that it actually tries to attack you? That's what I'd be trying to figure out.
But no matter their individual motivations, all is in service to the Old One. Why does the Old One exist? Because man was meant to use their souls for thought, not...
That's what I just said. Like, why does it exist? Actually, why? Because it low-key doesn't make any sense when you think about it. Hold on one sec. Let me go in here. Can't remember what I put my hotkey for in-game overlay. Oh, F11. Cool. Yeah. Back to
sorcery. The soul arts naturally cause man to
so
turn
that way
on
I
each
can-
other
I
to
can
acquire
see.
each other's power. So, on the first day, God must have witnessed humans abusing his gift of clarity to wish harm upon creation itself. That's why, on the second day, God fought poison with poison. Who is God? God is simply the nameless creator referenced in the prologue. His character, if you can call it that, is mentioned in a couple of other places. First, by Alant, who believes that life is suffering and says that God was actually merciful in his creation of the Old One. Second, he's mentioned as a malicious
Okay,
form
whoa. Go back real
of
quick.
creation itself.
God?
For thought, not sorcery. The soul arts naturally cause man to turn on each other, to acquire each other's power. So, on the first day, God must have witnessed...
Having just powers in general just made people go crazy? Am I missing that?
But no matter their individual motivations, all is in service to the Old One. Why does the Old One exist? Because man was meant to use their souls for thought, not sorcery. The soul arts naturally cause man to turn on each other, to acquire each other's power. So
I get
on the first day, God must have
souls
witnessed
the
humans
incorrect
abusing
way
his gift
as
of clarity to wish harm upon creation itself.
Makes sense.
That's why, on the second day, God fought poison with poison. Who is God? God is simply the nameless creator referenced in the prologue. His character, if you can call it that, is mentioned in a couple of other places. First, by Lant, who believes that life is suffering and says that God was actually merciful in his creation of the Old One. Second, he's mentioned as a malicious force in the item description of the Northern Regalia, a sword God left behind in the world along with the Old One.
Though?
This sword splits into two opposing blades, Soulbrand and Demonbrand, which present man with two paths. Be human and use the soul for thought, or be demons, coveting the souls of others.
Note, Soulbrand and Demonbrand scale with your character's tendency.
But human and Demonbrand of the Northern Regalia, a sword God left behind in the world along with the Old One. This sword splits into two opposing blades, Soulbrand and Demonbrand, which present man
tendency,
with two
the
paths.
morality
Be
system
human
of demon
and
souls,
use the soul for thought, or be
God.
demons, coveting the souls of others. But humans continued to use the soul for magic for much of history. For simplicity, this history can actually be quite neatly divided into three eras: the Mythic Era, the Classical Era, and the Medieval Era.
Okay.
What was the Mythic Era? So just like mythology in our own world, where superhuman heroes walked the earth, the Mythic Era could have been an age of legendary world where superhuman heroes walked the earth. The Mythic Era could have been an age of
I don't know if
legendary
y'all read that
heroes
at the
who
bottom.
could perform feats that were truly beyond man. Evidence of this time include Duran, the demigod, Big M, who slaughtered dragons with his bare fists, a hero mentioned by the rune sword and shield, and also the storm rulers of the Shadow Men. Naturally, there should have been a sharp decline in magical strength after this. What was the Classical Era? The cultures succeeding the heroes of the Mythic Era continued to pursue the soul arts. Recognizing this power as somehow divine, each incorporated magic into their religion, though none of these pagans worshipped the singular god described earlier. But
that's crazy. So throughout the entire game, are you like going through different eras of the game? I mean, because it all exists as one in the world. Like, for example, we live in the real world, obviously, unless we're in the Matrix. You can still study Roman architecture and Greek mythology and their golden eras versus the Bronze Era and whatnot. But like in today's age, we have all of access to all of it. So when you're running through these ruins and running through these certain things, or going on tours to wrap it back around to like real life, modern life, you're still like experiencing, in a sense, all of that stuff. But in the game, you're experiencing how it was, and each places that you go to have specific enemy types and ways that they do stuff in that area of the game because of what era it's actually from in the lore aspect of Demon Souls. Is that correct? I mean, that's kind of fire, low key. Like, to put that much thought into the game.
Most guilty of all in their pursuit of power were the Monumentals. Who were the Monumentals? They were the major power of the Classical Era, this magic-based society that controlled the world thanks to their mastery of the soul arts. It was this insatiable pursuit of power that led them to discover, worship, and eventually awaken the Old One, kickstarting the first Scourge. What is the first Scourge? This is the first calamity.
My man is answering all questions that I never even thought to ask, honestly. Not gonna front to you. My man is asking all questions I didn't even think to ask, but I'm here for
directly to discover.
I'm sorry, also, again, that I don't have much of a oh shit reaction. I'm listening in and I'm trying to understand what he's saying, and I'm also tired at the same time. So, you know, the two kind of blending in together. I'm just trying to chill. That's who I am. I just like kicking it and chilling. And low key, no such shit, but like, you know, he got a good voice for this shit. I've always said that he has a really good voice. Like, come on now. Don't tell me it's sus. I mean, he's just good at storytelling. What else do you want me to say?
And eventually awaken the old one, kickstarting the first Scourge. What is the first Scourge? This is the first calamity, directly caused by the Monumentals' misuse of the soul arts. The deep fog consumed Monumental civilization and nearly the entire world with it. While the Monumentals successfully battled the demons,
these animations crazy on screen. I ain't seen none of this in my game. By the time they had
done so, most of the world as they knew it
this must be all trailer
vanished.
footage.
So in order to connect what little of the diffused lands remained and mend them back together, they created the Archstones.
Oh, that's actually fire! How that just brought around real life real quick.
Successfully battled the demons and lured the old one into slumber. By the time they had done so, most of the world as they knew it had already vanished. So in order to connect what little of the diffused lands remained and mend them back together, they created the Archstones.
That's fire.
What is an Archstone? Continuing to use the power of the soul arts, the Monumentals crafted keystones, which were capable of linking people and places alike. This bond can be manipulated for teleportation or even bodily restoration. So what is soul form? It's the phantom body that you possess after death. Your bare soul is significantly more vulnerable and can even lose its will over time, as shown by the Crestfallen. At least, unlike normal spirits, getting killed will return your soul to the Nexus, for that is where yours is bound. What is the Nexus? After giving...
So, because we're some kind of chosen and whatnot, instead of just like dying and becoming somebody that just needs and feeds off of souls, we're returned back to the Nexus for another loop, essentially.
6 Archstones to the leaders of 6 powerful civilizations. Nexus, turn your soul to the Nexus, for that is where yours is bound. What is the Nexus? After giving 6 Archstones to the leaders of 6 powerful civilizations, the Monumentals sealed the Old One in the Nexus and sacrificed their humanity to become the Keymen we are familiar with. Called the Linchpin Temple in the Japanese, the Nexus acts as the hub to this Archstone network, with the Monumentals serving as a sort of human sacrifice for recovering the diffused world, filled with the survivors of a once mighty civilization.
Every single one of these games, they always have some type of sacrificial lord or something, and those end up being all of the bosses you fight. It's kind of sad.
The soul arts were banned, and even knowledge of the soul arts.
Completely unrelated to Demon Souls, just Dark Souls 3. I think Yorm the Giant's probably my favorite boss because of his lore in general. Like, just him as a character is insane to me. The depth that they put inside of the character, I love that.
Was forbidden, marking the start of the medieval era, along with a hope that the world could be mended. What is the medieval era? So this would have been an age of feudal kingdoms, largely devoid of magic. Having narrowly avoided their lands being swallowed by the deep fog, the different societies obeyed the Monumentals' prohibition, despite magic being so central to their cultures up until then. Key buildings like the Ivory Tower, the Dragon God Temple, or the Shrine of Storms were abandoned or buried, and many of these pagan cultures died out, or were largely forgotten. Despite all of this happening only a few hundred years ago, humans quickly forgot about the existence of souls and the soul arts, and the same was true for the Archstones, with many of them being lost and broken into fragments left to be gnawed on by rats. Outlawing knowledge carries consequences, and many barbarous cultures nurtured this aversion to even the mere legend of magic. But nowhere was this ignorance and antagonism more obvious than in the Temple of God. What is the Temple of God? It's the predominant faith that you will encounter in-game. This priesthood apparently originated in the land of Merd, where its first temple was built, and while this land of origin is now long lost, the religion has become widespread thanks to its very relevant message. The priests of these temples preach of one God who is good, and that magic is an evil which desecrates him. So it should come as no surprise that this doctrine appealed to people who had just suffered an apocalypse caused.
Did I just not This, whoa, fuck. I need to get me another chair. Did I just not discover these people? Because I could have sworn I went through every nook and cranny of every single level of this game. Or do some of these people you got to get in New Game Plus? Like, y'all got to fill me in, because my hub, my Nexus, didn't even look half as full as his did. And I got some people to come there for me. Maybe like 4 people in total. Maybe 3 or 4 people. This dude looked like he had like 12 people in there.
By such magic, and witches have been ostracized and persecuted for their cursed sorcery ever since. But that attitude...
Imagine being judged and just said that you're cursed simply because you look or you're really good at certain things that another demographic of people aren't. Imagine that.
And to change when the soul cursed magic, and witches have been ostracized and persecuted for their cursed sorcery ever since. But that attitude began to change.
Who determines if sorcery is
according to the official Demon Souls website from 2009, that the game is unfortunately now lost. King Allant XII made a journey to the limits of human inhabited lands, where he discovered a giant linchpin temple.
Oh, I hope he's going into the ending of this story sort of now, because there was a part where you fight. Y'all see my video? That motherfucker pissed me off. Old King Allant, at least the mirrored image or some shit like that of him, whatever fake it was, because you actually fight Old King Allant, excuse me, as the final boss of the game, like at the very end of the game. I'm sitting there like, I thought I just fought this nigga like 2 videos ago. So please inform me of this nigga Allant.
Fortunately, now since
I'm listening,
that attitude began to change.
Because this motherfucker was as hard as fighting Gale, bro.
According to the official Demon Souls website from 2009, that is unfortunately now lost. King Allant XII made a journey to the limits of human inhabited lands, where he discovered a giant linchpin temple in a hinterlands of icy mountains. This temple is almost certainly the Nexus, and the story of his journey here is closely linked to the broken 6th Archstone.
So you see how he says almost certainly? That means, again, take what if you know more information, please don't come after this nigga's neck, bro. And don't come after my neck for just throwing out shit like that. I know how y'all on the internet be. He's just saying whatever he's saying. Like, come on now. Like, he's taking all the notes and stuff from websites that he knows and the guidebooks and all of that extra shit to give y'all content. So don't come at his neck if he's actually wrong and you know something that we don't know.
Nexus. Linchpin temple in a hinterlands of icy mountains. This temple is almost certainly the Nexus, and the story of his journey here is closely linked to the broken 6th Archstone and the cut content of the game that once lay beyond it. Check out this video if you'd like to learn more. Thanks to the now famed Sage Frey, standardizing.
Let me know in the comments. I'll check it out.
And practice of magic became easy, even for common people. It wasn't uncommon to see a local magician in any given town, and anyone could learn how to perform spells. That said, rich nobles received the best instruction, and the power of this social class would have helped to maintain the status quo, deepening society's dependence on magic. Years passed, and Boletaria continued to flourish thanks to magic. The second Scourge was inevitable. What is the second Scourge? It's the current demon calamity that's befalling the world. Finally, we approach the events of the game. With the Soul Arts, Allant brought unprecedented prosperity.
I like how he brought that around.
Of Boletaria, but once again awoke the old one below the Nexus, unleashing the deep fog and demons across his kingdom.
I forgot the old one was beneath the Nexus.
With the deep fog only growing, and none of the heroes who entered Valifax's tear ever returning, the fog threatens the world that remains. We can suspect that one world has already fallen. Take a look at the
What heroes ever
Nexus.
did?
This was given to the giants of the northern lands.
He said because all the heroes that came didn't survive or something like that.
And demons across his kingdom and neighboring lands. With the deep fog only growing, and none of the heroes who entered Valifax's tear ever returning, the fog threatens the world that remains. We can suspect that one world has already fallen. Take a look at the 6th broken Archstone in the Nexus. This was given to the giants of the northern lands, and it's blackened and crumbling, which brings us to world tendency. What is world tendency? So, a tendency is a predisposition or an inclination towards something, and in Demon Souls, the world can be inclined towards either white or black tendency. In white tendency, demons are weaker, and in black tendency, demons are stronger. So earlier we talked about how and in black tendency, demons are stronger.
The implication of the blackened, broken 6th Archstone is that it has hit complete black world tendency.
So earlier we talked about how the soul and in towards either white or black tendency. In white tendency, demons are weaker, and in black tendency, demons are stronger.
And no humans are around to keep it.
So earlier we talked about how the soul grants humans clarity, and that our perception can change the fabric of reality preserved by the Archstones. So therefore, it makes sense that each world actually changes to fit our perception somewhat, akin to a sort of karma. After death, for example, we naturally perceive the world as more threatening, and it becomes so as tendency darkens. After defeating a major demon, on the other hand, the world is perceived as less threatening, and world tendency lightens. When a world moves towards pure tendency in either direction, interesting events occur. When the world is inclined towards black tendency, for example, demonic presence is strengthened, and primeval demons are even born in the world. These demons are newborn and powerless, with colorless souls only fit to grow in a world that favors them. On the flip side, in world tendency, human encounters are more common, and the influence of demons is weaker. Just so,
damn, so my first playthrough must have just been so up and down that I didn't get any of these shits happen. It's unique, but I wish they... this is the same shit that everybody told me playing this game would happen. It's like, nobody tells you ever how to actually gain world tendency and then how it, like, what events need to happen unless you're looking something up on a guide.
Character tendency also exists. This is the perception of self, which is darkened after evil acts like killing another human in cold blood, or lightened after good acts like ridding the world of a black phantom. And if you hit pure white character tendency, the Monumental will give you the Allies' Ring in the hope that you will aid them against the demons.
Even after him saying that, it's still confusing to me, like how you get pure white tendency.
The first Scourge.
Please forgive me, but I wish to concentrate. 'Tis no easy task being a Monumental.
So they need all the help they can get, which is why you were revived. Why were you revived in the Nexus? A brave soul who fears not death. You were brought here to destroy every last demon. Without demons to feed its souls, the old one will seek a new servant and lure you below. So you have to succeed, for the sake of the world that remains, and if not for that, then for your own sake.
Damn, what's that?
You will be forever trapped within the Nexus.
Man's got the blade from fucking...
Only at the end will you be presented with a choice.
Bloodborne and moves, or I guess that it technically came from here then.
So you must travel to the lands that are not
something
yet
like
fully
that.
enveloped by fog, and after you triumph over the demon phalanx, the Monumental unlocks all of the other Archstones that remain. What are the lands preserved by the Archstones? So each land has its own deep lore and story, and now that you've got the basics, you're ready to get into specifics. So subscribe to learn about all of these places in the coming weeks. There's so much of Demon Souls' story that really hasn't been uncovered before, and we're going to solve it all. Remember to check out the Displate if you're interested, but just quickly about the lands. First, there is Boletaria, which is a land of brave knights that was once at the heart of a vast empire, now reduced to a crumbling ruin filled with demonic imposters. Then there's Stonefang, whose mines have unearthed a lava-soaked shrine and a dragon god buried within. Latria, once the land of the learned, is now home to the vengeful sadism and horrific experiments of a resentful old man. The fourth world is the Shrine of Storms, on the island of the Shadow Men, who worshipped storms and mourned the dead with unsettling rituals. And finally, there's the Valley of Defilement, a rotting haven for the ill-fated and forgotten,
hate that place
who
too.
have been swept up into a frenzy by the arrival of a true saint. Before I go, I also want to give special thanks to Loki_DS, who you should please follow on Twitter. In the years since Demon Souls' original release, he's put a lot of work into deciphering the lore and Japanese text of Demon Souls, which has led all of us to a more nuanced, accurate take on the entire game. A link in the description can also take you to his website, where you can read more of his work. But thank you for watching, and thank you to my patrons who make more of this.
So he didn't really go into the endings like I wanted. But... all right, let me see if I can find something. Demon Souls ending. Yeah, ending explained, please. I hope that you have something on this, Vadi. Because, like, you know, I asked you for permission for your videos. I don't want to just take anybody else's stuff, you know. Please have an ending explained. Oh, bruh. I want to know the ending, what the ending means, bro. I want to know exactly what that bitch means. The fuck? The joint timeline. That's another. That's all of these are different reaction videos I can do. I'll react to all of these. I will. I dead ass will react to all of these. Okay, well let me see the evil ending.
Did you know you've been missing out on saving money with honey? Don't worry. I'm here to help you add honey to your bread.
Unfortunate, sponsor me. Shout out Boss Fight Database. I'll have your channel linked right under Vadi videos because I'm using your thing and I haven't asked you for permission for this, so I'm sorry. Give you a like off the bat. Go like and subscribe to this as well. And yeah. I want to see what the evil ending is, apparently, quote unquote.
Thy work is done. Slayer of demons, go back above.
So at this point, what I heard is that, yeah, the Nexus shouldn't imprison you, whatever, right? So I don't really know what that means. I guess like after you die again, then you're dead.
I shall lull the old one back to slumber.
So what happens if you don't lull it back to slumber? Because you can just turn around and kill her. And that's what I didn't do.
The old one and I shall slumber evermore, as it should be. Thou mayst
Oh, wait. If you kill her, is it making it like an eternal darkness then? Since Vadi said that we were like in the second Scourge or something like that. Oh wow. Jesus, bro, you didn't have to do that. Vile.
The old one senses a new and powerful demon by its side.
Oh
And before
shit.
long, the world will be engulfed by the deep fog. Bring more souls.
Well, goddamn. So what I captured from that is basically if you killed her, you're becoming a demon, and then you just keep the loop kind of going. You just have to keep killing, and you just become so like bloodthirsty for souls is what I'm hearing. Oh, that shit would be crazy, bro. I fucking wish they make a Bloodborne 2. I'll be on that shit so quick. All right, thank you. If you did enjoy this video, please just, you know, like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. It does help out in the YouTube algorithm, boost me up there. Please go follow and subscribe to both of these beautiful people over here, Boss Fight Database and Mr. Vadi Video. All right, peace. I love y'all, and yeah, have a good night or a good morning whenever you watch this. It's always cool kicking and chilling with y'all.